Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel, Stormy Christ, and this is Christ. So, today let's talk about why I am not using Tagalog or Filipino as my language with my vlogs or videos. Alright, so have you ever wondered, because I'm Filipina? Well, right, I'm pure Filipina. So, but here, I'll give you 5 reasons, right? Okay, so let's start with number 1. Well, because I am Bicolano and I'm from Region 5, so my mother tongue is not Tagalog. It is a dialect called Bicol. So, that's why. So, Bicol is a language spoken by people in the Bicol region on southeastern Luzon in the Philippines. It was highly influenced by the Spanish language. So that's why I know a few Spanish words and I can count in Spanish as well. So it's almost similar to Spanish and similar as well to Bisaya. There's a similarity. So I can understand a few words as well in Bisaya. Bicol comes from the word Bico, which was used to describe the river now known as the Bicol River, because they said Bico, Bico, the Akaya, and Bicol River. So probably it means crooked. I don't have an idea. It's actually a really old word, I guess. But I know Bico is crooked, something like that. Or baliko. That's the word I know. Because we have different dialects as well. There is Bicol Naga, Bicol Legazpi. So we have still variations. Even if you're already in Bicol. So there are still variations on the dialects for each, sometimes for each town or something. So we have different dialects still. We have Bicol Naga, and then we have Legazpi has Bicol Legazpi. So there are differences as well. Bicol region comprises the southern part of Luzon, the largest island in the Philippine archipelago. I was actually born in Naga City, so my hometown is Naga City, but I grew up in Tinambak. So, so that's where I grew up until I'm first year high school. So we moved in the suburb near Naga City, which is Canaman. Okay, so Bicol is actually famous among Filipinos for its spicy food. Yep, so I'm a Bicolana and I love spicy food. And among travelers, it's famous or best known for its active volcanoes. Have you ever heard of Mayon volcano, which is the perfect cone-shaped volcano? Right, so it's located in Legazpi, that's in Bicol. And also the whale sharks of Donsol in Sorsogon. And if you're, I'm actually, my hometown is in Naga City. I was born in Naga City, and we have the Camarines Water Sports Complex where you see wakeboard and a lot of it's a beautiful place where you can do water sports. Right, and we have the Mount Isarog as well, with a lot of falls. So I used to frequent Malabsay Falls. So you can choose a lot of falls there, depending on how far you would like to actually walk or hike. Okay, reason number 2. I'm awkward speaking in Tagalog because I have this weird accent. Yeah, because it's not really my first language. Usually people notice it that I'm not from Manila when I speak in Tagalog. The last time it happened was when I was on my way to my employer. I rode a Grab car going to Parañaque, and the driver immediately asked me if I'm from Bicol because of my diction. So he said, "May punto ka kasi." In punto means diction or the style of enunciation or articulation. So those people make fun of me when they found out when they hear something strange that I say. Um, Early, I remember jumbo, something like that. So my friends were actually laughing at me because of that. So I speak weird, I sound weird when I speak in Tagalog. But I do speak in Tagalog, but I don't want to record it on video. But sometimes, yeah, I do speak Tagalog there if I really don't have a choice. But if I do have a choice, then I'll just stick with my English. I speak better in English rather than in Tagalog. Okay, reason number 3. I got this notion when I was in college that people who speak in Tagalog when they are in Bicol, especially if you are a Bicolano and you speak in Tagalog and a mix of Tagalog and English, they are Conyos. So what does Conyo mean? Well, it's more on a group, slangs and slang words and phrases, which is actually a new type of language. So it's funny that if you search for the origin of the word conyo, the results may actually surprise you because the meaning of Spanish word conyo refers to the female genitalia. It's a common Spanish idiom, so often tagged as vulgar, and that's usually used by locals to emphasize a certain emotion. Okay, right. So there, it's a vulgar word in Spanish. But here in the Philippines, in the Philippine context, the word conyo has a different meaning, entirely different meaning. It refers to a language where people speak Taglish, which is a combination of the English and Filipino languages in a fuzzy way. Using this language may also exhibit that speakers have limited knowledge of either language and have to code switch. So I actually coded that from culturetrip.com. So, well, it's not just a language. For the Konyo language is prominent among youth in the upper class. So it's usually heard in everyday conversations among high school and college students who study at expensive colleges and universities. Like probably Ateneo, LaSalle, and I'm from Ateneo Dinaga University, so it really is touching something sensitive for me because I wanted to go to University of the Philippines because I was like thinking, what will I do in Ateneo? I'm not rich. So, but my mom wanted to enroll me in Ateneo. So, I got no choice. There you go. Okay, so, let's talk about why I don't like to be tagged or labeled as Konyo. Because usually, if you say a person is Konyo, it means it's often like they're wealthy or social climbers. So, more like that. So, they speak this language and have certain characteristics or mannerisms. And they are always up to date with the latest gadgets. And they don't know how to ride public transport. And they own expensive belongings. Which is clearly not me. Like, I'm the most down-to-earth person you'll ever meet. So, that's why I don't want to be labeled as Konyo. Okay, some more reasons about being Konyo. You are a Konyo if you really, they usually don't know how to commute. And I'm a master commuter. right? I usually just used our car and hire a driver if I have to go out with my mom. But if I'm alone, I like commuting. So I like the breezy air um, of riding a jeepney. So in the province in Naga City, I love that. So I'll rather choose a jeepney over a um, like a car. So I guess it's not. And then if you are Konyo, you actually have almost the latest trends and the most expensive brands. So well, sometimes I'm particular with the brand. I'm more on the quality, not really about the price, but it's more in the quality. As long as I can get something in the cheapest price, but still has its quality, I'm good with that. And I'm not fond of iPhones because I don't think it's worth it. Like, I'm a Samsung baby because Android rocks, right? Well, you can actually it's not practical to actually have iPhones for me, and I can't even afford it. So I'm sticking with my Samsung. Okay, so we're down to reason number, what's that, 4. Okay, so I'm an English major. I'm a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English. And I grew up reading English books or magazines and Reader's Digest to be exact. And I also grew up watching English TV shows and English movies. So, right, that's it. And well, English almost sort as a second language to me. So my first language is Bicol, which is a dialect, but still, it's just the same. And my second language is English. It's almost my second language. And I'm better at it. As already mentioned, I'm better at it than speaking in Tagalog. I also needed to be better and practice English every day because that's what my jobs require me to, right? So I used to work, my first job is with Camarines Norte State University. It was a state college then, but it's now a university. So that's my first job, and I was an instructor, and I taught English major subjects like world literature, writing in the discipline, English plus, and all those stuff. So that's why. And after that, I've been with BPOs. So I've been a customer service representative and mostly technical support representative. And our clients mostly are Americans, Canadians. I've held Australians for Telstra and Sirius XM Americans. And the last one is with Bell Canada. So, right. So I guess I have to practice it. I have to be better with it because that's where I'm getting that's my job, right? So I have to perfect it. So I guess you can't blame me why I prefer speaking English rather than Tagalog. It's not more like, yeah, I know the story. Rizal said that ang taong hindi magmahal sa sariling wika ay mahigit pa sa malansang isda. Right, so it says that like if a person who doesn't know how to love his or her own language is like how do you say that? Fish, I mean stale fish, right? So I guess, well, you heard me speak in Tagalog, and well, they say in Bicol, wag ka nang magtagalog, lawi ka naman. So it's like, don't speak in Tagalog because you're not really good at it, right? So it's weird. I have that weird diction when I speak in Tagalog, but I still talk to people in Tagalog here somehow. So right there, that's the 4th reason. Alright, so we're down to the 5th lesson, reason. My mom always saying lesson. Okay, five reason. Fifth reason is that, last but not the least, English is a worldwide language. So there are more people that can understand my videos and my vlogs compared if I use Tagalog. So it's more on practicality, right? So I don't really have to, the audience that I actually wanted to reach out are different people. I want my videos to be accessible and understandable by almost everyone. So I guess Filipinos are really very good in English as well. So there's no problem. Not much people have trouble understanding English in the Philippines. So most Filipinos speak in English. So that's why English is a better choice for me. It's a practical choice. Now, and right, so there you go. I have the five reasons why I'm actually using English as my medium in blogging. Well, the first one, because I am Bicolano and my mother tongue is not Tagalog, it's Bicol. And second, I'm awkward speaking in Tagalog because I have this weird accent, or my diction is not really good in Tagalog, my enunciation and articulation particularly. And number three, I got this notion that people who speak in Tagalog are actually Conyos. Right? Well, because I'm in Bicol and people don't really speak in Tagalog. If you are Bicolano and you're in Bicol, you don't really speak Tagalog in Bicol. You speak in Bicol, right? You always say, you are in Bicol, speak in Bicol, right? Now, number fourth reason, because my job actually requires it, right? And yep, and I guess this one is, I'm not sure if super valid for you, but I think in English, I don't know why, but my brain's default language is actually in English. So even you'll discover it because my sister's ex actually was laughing because he heard me when I was sleeping and he said I was still speaking in English. It was like he said, "Oh my God, you are asleep and you're still speaking in English." And whenever I'm actually like shocked or hurt, I always say "ouch," right? I'm not sure why, but English had been or has been the default language of my brain. So it's difficult for me to actually, it's like I'm translating. If I'm thinking I have to speak in Tagalog, I will have to translate English because that's the default language of my brain, my mind. So I have to translate. It's like my brain is working harder when I have to speak in Tagalog. But mostly it's more natural as well for Bicol. So, but I have to admit that there are a lot of words in Bicol now that I don't really know, like those who are really archaic or ancient. I don't know, those old Bicol words. I'm not much into it already, and as well with Tagalog. So I'm always like grasping for words when I have to speak in Tagalog. And I always have the right words in English, mostly, but sometimes my mind gets blank too. But I'm more comfortable speaking in English. So that's why I'm using this as a medium for my vlogs. And yeah, so that's about it. Right. And I guess I'm gonna be vlogging like every day for this lockdown. Well, hope you have a realization for that one. I'm just trying to say that whatever floats your boat and whatever makes you happy and whatever you are comfortable with, as long as you're not hurting anyone, well, just do it. right? So just be happy, live and let live, and we're going to survive this coronavirus. So that's it for now, and thank you so much for watching my blog and my videos, and please do subscribe. So, alright, peace out, yo. This is